Hello one and all! So I really haven't covered it much, or really at all. That time I got Reincarnated Slime is probably one of my favorite anime of all times, and I am super excited to do a whole bunch of videos about it when Season 2 comes out. But, like all anime with a source material, a lot of things ended up getting cut out. Now, it's not nearly as bad as Air, which cut out so much I literally had to do a 5-part series just explaining everything that wasn't in the anime. For Slime, it's mostly, politics, economics, world building, nation building. There's literally pages and pages explaining how Rimuru got toilets up and running in Tempest, and I freaking love that. But yeah, it probably wouldn't have done all that well in an anime. That being said, though, when you get closer to the end of it, there's 3 or 4 fairly important scenes that were just completely removed from the anime, which could certainly cause some issues moving forward. But based on the trailer for Season 2, it does seem like at least 1 or 2 of them might be brought back, either as a flashback or by rearranging the order of events. So I won't be talking about any of those right now. Maybe when Season 2 comes out, I'll come back to this. But for now, for this video, I want to focus on the biggest victim of the anime. A man among men whose introduction was completely butchered. Good old Mulemeyer. I'm probably pronouncing his name wrong. Rimuru just ends up calling him Molly down the road because even he can't pronounce the name, which I absolutely love. But yeah, so if you're a fan of the series or if you just watched it recently, you might remember Mulemeyer. He is the merchant that Rimuru saved as he was running for his life from the Sky Dragon, and in exchange, he treated him to a nice dinner, and that was it. They were even. Then, invited him back to Tempest to help them deal with their economics and business and whatnot. No, that is a whole lot different than what I saw in the light novel and manga. First and foremost, he'd actually already been to Tempest when this scene happened. Fuse contacted him and essentially put him in charge of, transporting the high potions from Tempest over to Blumend and spreading the word to other nations about just how effective and powerful it was. So yeah, he actually went to Tempest before this, with Cabal's party actually, that's a whole other story. So he was actually very well aware of who Rimuru was when this happened. In fact, he'd even been shown drawings of what he looked like, which, oh my god. I just love their love for Rimuru. I just freaking love it. I just love how much they love him. Anyway, yeah, so then the Sky Dragon attacks, and it is not at all what we see in the anime, him just running away. He actually says in the light novel that with his pudgy frame, there's no way he can escape the Sky Dragon. So instead, he starts handing out the high potions to the soldiers so that they can recover from their wounds and keep fighting long enough to keep him safe. But then after that, he also uses the high potion to heal a woman who used her body to protect her child from the Sky Dragon's blast. She is barely holding on to life, and he saves her. He doesn't even charge her for the freaking potion that cost quite a pretty penny. And then we truly see this man shine. As the Sky Dragon lands right behind him, the little girl tells him to run. He laughs. He laughs in the face of a freaking Sky Dragon, and he says this, what is probably the greatest line in this entire series. Who do you take me for? I'm too important to die in a silly spot like this. Now be gone before you get in my way. Oh, that is so freaking badass, and I love it. I love you, Mulemeyer. Anyway, yeah, then Rimuru saves him. Huzzah! And then, he ends up saving Rimuru because he actually bribes the guards right then and there so that they don't ask any questions about who Rimuru is, how he managed to fight a freaking Sky Dragon, or where the Sky Dragon came from. Good old Molly just literally says, oh, he's my bodyguard, he doesn't know anything more than I do, so don't bother pestering him. Oh, I love him. I love just the weight he can throw around like that. Oh, it's freaking amazing. And then just continuing his awesomeness, when we actually get to the nightclub that he partly owns, Rimuru mentions a champagne tower, something he knew from his own world, and Molly thought it was such a great idea, he had one built right then and there. Which, by the best estimate, cost at least 1,000 silver. Let me put that in perspective. Based on what's said in the light novel, 1 silver is about $10, more or less. The exact conversion is a little tricky because, different things, different values between the worlds. But here's how other things break down. It costs 2 silver a night to stay in a relatively decent inn. It costs 4 silver a night to stay in the inn that Rimuru was staying in Glacia. While he's being a teacher, he was paid 10 silver a day. the high potion that good old Molly was just handing out like candy, and refused. He completely refused to allow Rimuru to replenish his stock of high potion, to pay him back for what was destroyed or what he, used to save people, because he figured it was an investment in Rimuru and the world and the capital and the economic revolution that he was going to build. He was also very grateful for the highway that he built between Tempest and Blummin. Huge, huge help to him. Anyway, the high potion cost 25 silver. Cabal's party, the three fools of Blummin, as Fuse so lovingly describes them, are paid 100 silver a day because they're B+ rank adventurers, which is way more than they deserve, because they only achieved that rank by, basically selling off Rimuru's trash and claiming it was from monsters they defeated. The entire high potion contract he was given, delivering 500 high potions from Tempest to Blummin, earned him about 2,500 silver. Then you have to subtract the costs of bodyguards and whatnot. Let's just put it in perspective. And he spent 1,000 silver, roughly $10,000, building a freaking champagne tower because he thought it sounded interesting. I love this man. I freaking love him. A few things I want to mention. If you have particularly good memory or just recently watched the episode, you might notice there's a man standing right next to Mjolnir when he's running from the Sky Dragon who seems weirdly detailed. He doesn't seem like a nameless NPC. He seems like he has value. He seems like he's someone of significance. That's because he is. His name is Bede. Bede? B-Y-D-D. Bide, I'm going to call him. Anyway, he was a thief who tried to steal from Cabal's party, and that ended very badly for him. So he became a con man adventurer, basically claiming, "Oh, look at this horned bear I killed. Ha ha." And Rimuru called him out and saying, "That's just a regular bear with a horn you stuck to it." And after that, Rimuru encouraged him to try and be better, so he became Mjolnir's bodyguard. And he was actually fairly impressive when the Sky Dragon attacked. Under Mjolnir's orders, he didn't run away, handed out the high potion soldiers they keep fighting. And then when all hope seemed lost, he literally started picking up rocks and throwing them at the Sky Dragon to distract and to save his boss. And then when all hope really, really seemed lost, he basically stood in front of his boss with his arms raised trying to protect him, saying, "If I'm gonna die, at least let me look cool in the process." Oh, I love that. I love it. And Mjolnir loves it too. After seeing this, he basically decides, "Alright, Bide, if you survive this, you're gonna become my personal bodyguard from now on." And they survived it, so now Bide is his personal bodyguard. Oh, I just love that. One other very weird thing I want to mention is how Rimuru learns about the dwelling of the spirits. In the light novel and the anime, it's just that one waitress, hostess, whatever, who mentions that in passing is a prayer she blesses the children with. But in the manga, it's the elf that predicted Rimuru's future, the woman that he was destined to be with. Which, unless I'm misremembering things, is not at all in the light novel. Like the whole prediction that Shizu was the one Rimuru was supposed to be with, yeah, that wasn't a light novel at all. They added it into the manga, and then it made it from there into the anime, which is a very, very strange order of events. Anyway, so she offers to use her divination to find what he's looking for. When he says dwelling spirits, she's rather surprised because she doesn't even need to divine its location. It's basically just in her own home country, or Gracia, and so she just gives him directions to it. I don't know, since I'm talking about Mjolnir, I figured I'd just mention her while I'm at it. So yeah, let me think of all that's down below. What do you think of his introduction to anime? And what do you think of him now that he stood up to a freaking dragon and basically laughed in its face? Love that man and can't wait to see him in season 2 because it's been a while since I actually read that part, but if I recall correctly, he does end up playing a small role in it. But yeah, let me think of all that down below. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss my next video. I'm definitely going to be covering Slime Season 2 when it comes out. I think it was pushed back to January, which is very depressing, but I understand that with everything else going on in the world. But until then, or till my next video, stay safe, and to all of you,
peace!